welcome. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's training. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I'm going to give a little bit of time just for those of you guys who are joining us live, so you get a chance to make sure that you're here, which is really, really important. And what I'll do right now is just tell you guys what this is about, right? So this is today's second challenge day, whereby we're going through how to create your first paying clients, right? So using different social media platforms, how to get visible, how to build engagement, how to build relationships, and how to create your first paying clients online, specifically if you're a service-based entrepreneur. So I'm super excited about this. Let me make sure that you guys can see me really well. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we'll get started in just a second, and I know that a lot of you guys are always letting me know that you're watching the replay, which is really great, and I'm so excited to hear that. And so what we'll do is we're going to get started in just a second when a couple of more people just pop up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, cool. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started, and then as people trickle in, that's absolutely fine, and we'll just sort of move from there. So welcome to today, which is the second challenge day, whereby we're going through how to create your first paying clients. And yesterday's live training is now up on YouTube. So if you missed the first day, you can absolutely check that out on my YouTube channel, which is under Olivia Charlet. And the reason why I wanted to create this challenge is because, look, a year ago, I started my coaching business, and I found it so tough to create my first paying clients. You know, I didn't really know what I was doing. I felt like a headless chicken running around, you know, trying things out, not really knowing, you know, how to make this happen. And I didn't really know how to use Facebook, in the sense that I didn't know how to use it for a business. I wasn't sure how to show up on video. I didn't have a clear idea on how to do webinars or how to set myself up on Periscope. So there were a lot of just things that I just did not know. And I also didn't know how to book sales calls, which is a massive thing, right? When you're building a business and when you're creating your first paying clients, you want to get on the phone with people, or at least start exchanging emails, regardless of how you usually set up your prospect calls. So I really wanted to create this because I'm going to Bali on Saturday. I'm going for a whole week, and I really wanted to give back. And this felt like the best time to do it because it's almost my 1-year anniversary for my coaching business. A little bit less than that, but it just felt like a really good time to do that. And I hope that this has been super valuable. I've been having amazing feedback from the first live training day. People found it really, really useful, really helpful to just take action. And I'm so glad. And I want to keep getting that feedback so I know how to make it better for you, how to make it more useful, how to make it more valuable, so you can literally start creating your first paying clients. Cool. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm a business and mindset coach. I specifically only work with brand new women entrepreneurs who are 100% committed to their success, really tenacious about making their dream a reality, 100% in, right? Like, those are the people that I work with. And I love coaching. I do that one-to-one. And I also have an online course on my website, oliviacharlet.com, which gives you all of the details on how to create your first paying clients from really the get-go. Like, if you have no idea how to do it, and to the point whereby you're literally booking 3 to 5 sales calls every week, because that's usually what my clients do. So let's go into the actual content. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you guys about how you can leverage Periscope and YouTube to really start creating that engagement, creating visibility, but also creating content that is valuable for your audience, and leveraging those 2 different tools so that you're actually booking calls with it, and increasing the number of people who join your Facebook group or who join your email list, right? Super, super important. Cool. And then at the end, what we'll do is we'll leave room for Q&A. So if you have any questions, please feel free to already put them on the right-hand side and just type in your question, put it down there. And that way, when I'm done, I can absolutely go through these, because having been through a year of my business, I know, and 3 years of the other business, I know that sometimes you've got those burning questions, and if you were just able to ask that question, you could finally like move forward and shift your business forward. So please don't think that any question is silly or stupid. Anything goes. Any question that you have, just ask it, and I'll be more than happy to answer it, okay? Cool. And then at the very end, what I'll do is I'll give you guys a giveaway that I'm really excited about. And Mo got her her 30-minute free coaching session from yesterday's live training. And I'll also be telling you a little bit more about getting that online course for free as a result of following all of the live trainings this week. Cool. All right. So let's get started about Periscope. So for those of you who have potentially checked it out, maybe you've heard about Periscope, maybe you've even been on it. So what I'll say is I don't necessarily use Periscope as a way to increase my followers to a maximum or have a really huge viewer list. I more see it as a really great way to already engage with my current tribe on Facebook and my email list and my current tribe who maybe have heard about me or who've maybe done a session with me 6 months ago. Periscope for me is a great way to continually interact on a live basis with my people, giving them tons of value, sharing my insights, sharing my tips, my advice, my lessons, my mistakes, just what I learn to them so that they can really take that and go off and do whatever it is that they need in their business. What I will say is this is just one way of doing it. You can do it any way that you want to do it. There are thousands of ways to create paying clients. Yesterday, we went through Facebook and setting up live webinars and live trainings, right? But again, today we're gonna go through Periscope and YouTube. Maybe for you, it's more about using Facebook Live video. Maybe for you, it's about using Blab Live, right? But it doesn't matter. It's more about finding ways to figure out how do I actually implement this? Even if you want to use Blab or you want to use another Facebook Live video, thinking about how am I going to implement this so I can actually create clients and so I can actually give all this amazing value that I have, right? Okay, cool. So looking at Periscope. Again, I really like to use this as a way to engage with people. So people often ask me, like, how do I know what to talk about on Periscope? You know, what kind of content am I meant to be giving out there? How am I meant to show up on Periscope? Am I meant to be really serious, really professional? What if people don't think I'm credible? What if people, you know, don't like me? What if people say things on Periscope that I don't like? So I want to answer all of those questions and go through it. So obviously Periscope being a live app, it allows you to interact with your audience in a really cool way because they can actually see you talking. And think about it for yourself. Every time you've seen somebody that you've potentially wanted to work with, when you've been able to see them live on video, on camera, on Periscope, on Blab, maybe even on video on Facebook, all of a sudden, don't you feel closer to them? Don't you feel more connected to them? Don't you feel like you actually know and trust that person a bit more? And okay, not everyone, but the people that you do admire and that you've seen on video, it's like all of a sudden you have a closer bond because you actually have looked at the way that they interact. You know their mannerisms. You know how they talk. You know if they have similar values to you. And you can have this feel about energy. Is this the kind of person that I could work with? Or is this not really my kind of person? So Periscope is a great way for you to show your tribe and your audience and your people and your potential clients that this is who you are. This is how you are live. This is how you sound. This is how you are in terms of your energy. If you're soft, if you're loud, if you're energetic, if you're more pensive, whatever it is that you are, people will then be able to know that and decide whether or not they can work with you or whether they want to work with you. In terms of content and what to put up on Periscope, I'm a big fan of giving away as much value as possible, right? But again, it's like, you know, I also think that it's just thinking about, well, what are the lessons that could be valuable for my audience? What does my audience need right now? What have I found out that I feel like would be really useful, like resources or books, or if you're a website designer, maybe it's more about teaching them some sort of new software or a way to set up their lead page, or what to do when, you know, in terms of deciding who to work with, you know, or the important things that business owners need to know as you being a website designer. What do they need to know about their website? What do they need to know about their lead pages? What would be very valuable to them? If you run retreats every year, or if you're a yoga teacher or you do personal training online, again, it's thinking about my audience, what would be really valuable for them? Maybe it'd be really cool to offer them a free workout, a 5-minute, 10-minute workout whereby you're teaching them everything, and you could set your phone or your iPad down, and then you could do your workout and teach them online for free. You could also give them lessons or tips on how to take care of themselves after a workout. You could help them in terms of what they should eat after a workout, what they should be drinking, when they should get a massage, what they should do with regards to foam rolling. You can get really into detail in terms of thinking, my ideal client is maybe just starting to do exercise. How can I help support them? What do they need to learn? What do they need to know? What can I teach them? What can I share with them as insights? And again, guys, this is any way that you want to do it, right? This is just my way. And if I look at my clients, they like to just, again, give tips, give insights. They like to choose a specific topic and then talk about that topic for potentially like 10, 12 minutes, leave room for Q&A at the end or throughout, and then head off. And they like to save their Periscopes and put them on catch.me, which is a website that allows you to actually have all of your Periscopes uploaded so that when they expire on the normal Periscope app, people can literally binge watch all of your Periscope videos on this website called catch.me, Katch.me. So again, that's a great way for you to collect and to contain your content so that when you're talking to your email list, your Facebook group, your potential clients, when you have a sales call, you can tell people, well, I've got a lot of great resources on catch.me. You can check out all of my Periscopes on there. They're always held there, right? So again, it's up to you what you set out to do with regards to your content. But if you're, for example, a mindset coach, it could be just tools, exercises that they can go through, and you teach them how to go through the exercise. Or maybe as a mindset coach, you've read a fantastic book that could be so valuable to people out there. So maybe it's about talking about the book, what 3 insights you had, and why they should absolutely go out and buy that book. Maybe it's with regards to something that's happened in your life. It's a scenario, it's a relationship thing, and you want to talk about that because you feel like it could be super useful for someone to take that knowledge and that experience and then go out and apply it on their own. Now, I think there are different ways with regards to Periscope. You can absolutely be very free-flowing. I like to do that, as you guys know me. I really like to just do it free-flowing and just go with the flow and just talk about what it is that's really insightful and very just what matters to me most on that day. For me, that feels very authentic. I don't like to sort of be too scripted. It just isn't for me. But I also know people who like to come on and give 3 points and talk about 3 things that are super valuable, like almost like bullet points. And then they recap their bullet points at the end. They tell everyone in the very beginning that there'll be room for Q&A, and then they allow people to join their Facebook group or their email list at the very end. So when you come onto Periscope, I'd highly recommend telling people, 1, who are you, right? Like maybe people are just catching you and they've never seen you before because they found you through a filter, or they've just followed you, by seeing someone else following you, whatever it might be, right? So number 1, telling people who you are. Number 2 is talking about what is it that you're going to speak about. Very often there's the title on Periscope, which I like to use, and people know that's what I'm going to be talking about. But tell people like what this Periscope will be about. Then you could say there's going to be time for Q&A if you want to do that. Again, you don't have to do that, but that allows people to know that there's going to be space and time for questions at the end. And that way they're not asking throughout, so that you can really feel like you're getting all of the content out for them. So telling them there's room for Q&A at the end. And then if you are launching something, you could even talk about the fact that there's an offer that's going to be made at the end of the Periscope to absolutely stay on so that you can actually hear that, right? Then you can get into your content, 3 bullet points, for example, or just talk about your content. And at the very end, summarize it, talk about what you've spoken about, remind people what it was about, ask people in questions. I found really good Periscopes are when people ask people questions, right? I don't do that as much because when I get on for 5-10 minutes between coaching calls and then I get off. But I have found that that's been the most valuable for my clients is when they ask questions to the audience throughout the Periscope. So they ask questions like, have you been through this before? Answer yes or no. Or, where are you guys based? Like, let me know. Tell me what city you guys are based in. And then everyone will say like, I'm in London, I'm in New York, I'm in, whatever, Florida. So again, just thinking about ways in which you can interact with your audience, asking them questions, telling them that they can use the hearts to show you what it is that is valuable for them or useful to them, telling people that that you'd love to hear like how they're finding it, so to make sure to give you feedback. There's really great ways to engage with your Periscope audience, again, if that's something you want to be doing. Then what I will say about Periscope is it's a really cool way to also talk about bringing up your email list and your Facebook group. So with regards to your email list, we're going to talk about making an opt-in tomorrow, but it would be potentially to talk about, look, I've got this awesome opt-in. In your case, it could be an amazing free PDF. It could be a 3-video masterclass that you're going to give people for free. It could be an audio that you've recorded that's super valuable for your audience. It could be an interview that you've done that's been really, really useful and people have loved, and you can create that as an opt-in. And so what you do is you create an opt-in and you add that to a lead page, and you could bring that up on your Periscope so that people constantly are joining your email list, so that they're not only in touch with you with regards to Periscope, but they're also joining your email list so that that's continuing to grow and you can stay in a really good relationship with them. And you can also mention your Facebook group so that, again, you are really leveraging all of the social media platforms and making sure that people are seeing you on multiple ones so that you can really build that trust, right? It's always that know, like, and trust factor. If people know you, that's awesome, but you need a little bit more. You need them to start liking you, and then you need them to trust you. So the more platforms they have a connection with you, the more likely they are to think, oh my God, this person's amazing. I want to work with her, or I want to get to know her more, or I want more from her. And that's where it becomes a potential client. What I will also say is at the end of the Periscope, if you offer, for example, 20-minute assessments, you can offer free 20-minute assessments on health, fitness, mindset, web design. Maybe if you wanted to, a 20-minute assessment on web design, if the person's deciding on whether or not to create a new website and how to do it and what brands to use, what colors to use, etc. Maybe you do 20-minute assessments on branding. Maybe you do 20-minute assessments on planning your business out or strategy, right? Whatever it is that you offer, whatever it is that your expertise is in, you can offer 20-minute free assessments or 30-minute free calls at the end of your Periscopes by telling people how they can book that in with you. Again, this is such a great way for you to start getting on the phone with your people, or at least exchanging more of a closer connection and creating a tighter bond and building a relationship that could potentially become a client. It's very rare that people see you once and then become straight away a client. It happens, but it's rare. So instead, it's about really bit by bit building relationships with people, getting to know them, getting on the phone with them, giving them these kinds of live interactions. Cool. All right, so that's a lot with regards to Periscope, and you can ask me any questions about this. Again, I don't use Periscope extensively. I could, if I wanted to, that'd be something I could absolutely leverage and build up my audience on there. I use it more as a way to really engage with my current audience and then grow and accelerate it through my Facebook group. But again, it's 100% up to you how you decide to do this. Somebody who's great at looking at Periscope, and I'd highly recommend, who's like kind of the expert on that, is somebody called, I think his name is Zach Spuckler or something around there. If you type in Periscope, Zach, so Z-A-C-H, I think it's something like Spuckler or on there, you'll find him on Google, and he's got a free opt-in whereby you can learn more about how to leverage Periscope to create clients, to launch programs, to make money in it. So I'd highly recommend him as an expert for that. Cool. All right, and ask me any questions if you do. Feel free on the right-hand side. Awesome. Next thing is going to be YouTube. So we're going to do this for another 10 minutes, guys. I'm going to talk about YouTube and how you can really leverage YouTube. And then what we'll do is we'll leave room for some questions and answers. So if you guys have any questions, we'll make sure to hit those. So with regards to YouTube, again, why do I use YouTube? because I find that it's a fantastic way to have that place where people can binge watch you. They can get to know you. Like literally, sometimes people tell me, I've binge watched all of your YouTube videos. I went from the beginning and I just watched all of them. And then I've had people who say, you know, every time your new video comes on, I get so excited, and I'm so excited to watch it and to like feel inspired and to take action and to sort of move forward in my business. So it's a really good way to build out more content, to make sure that, again, people, when they want more of you, that they can access that. Doesn't have to be on YouTube, doesn't have to be on Periscope, but you do want to think about ways of how can I create content so that when people get to know me, there's more content to be taken, right? Because if you're just posting on Facebook, that's great. And I know people who create a lot of clients just by posting on Facebook, but I think it's one of those things whereby if you want more of a balance, because I've also heard that people have only used Facebook and then they've been cut out of their Facebook group, their ad has been shut down by Facebook, and their potential clients, that channel has been completely removed. So I think if you have a balance of where you are creating potential clients, at least just in case if something goes wrong on one of the platforms, you've got other platforms to leverage, to use to be able to create paying clients. So that's my first thing about YouTube. Cool. The next thing I'll say is, like, it's the biggest thing I hear from my clients, especially when I first work with them and when I first start talking to them, is the fear that they're not credible, the fear of showing up exactly as themselves. Guys, this is the thing. The sooner you allow people to really see who you are, not the perfect professional, not the person who's got it all like perfect, the sooner people will feel like they can connect with you, the sooner you'll get the right kinds of people attracted to you, the sooner people will comment on your videos, the sooner people will send you messages and emails saying, hey, I love that YouTube video, or hey, I love that Periscope. So even though you're afraid, and I get it, like, and I don't know, maybe a lot of you guys are super excited, love doing videos, do them all the time. But I'm guessing there's some of you who are thinking, I'm gonna hold back a little. I'm gonna do one video every couple of weeks. I'm still kind of scared to do it. I'm scared to put myself out there. And I get that, but think about for yourself, anytime you've thought about investing in a program or hiring someone or working with somebody, when they had live interactive or just live camera interaction, right? Whether it's YouTube, Periscope, Blab, Facebook video, etc., you feel like you know them. So the sooner you allow yourself to just show up as you, the sooner you can create the kinds of clients that you want to work with. So again, with regards to content, what is your expertise? If you are great at nutrition and you're big on food, you could do videos on how to cook, the best, like the healthiest recipes, the vegetarian ones. Then you could go to meats. Then you could, cook, I don't know, any kind of recipes. You could film yourself. You could have your daughter film you or your partner film you. You could be talking about recipes. You can talk about certain diets if that's something that you're about. You could talk about minerals and vitamins that you need. You could talk about how to plan your meals so that you're being healthier, so that you're spending less money on food. You could talk about what to eat and what not to eat at restaurants. You could talk about what to do with regards to your physical side of things, like whether or not you're doing exercise with it, what kinds of foods to eat when you're exercising or after you're exercising. Guys, I have so many ideas. And what I mean by that is, like, you could just literally go all out. If you are let's just think, like, let's say that you're all about branding. Great, there's so much content on branding. You could talk about, how to do vision boards or how to do boards on Pinterest to really get clearer on what your brand is. You could talk about exercises or tools on how to figure out what your brand is really about. You could talk about other people's brands and why they're valuable or why they're really cool or why they're so recognized. So you could look at, for example, Apple and Shell and BP and, whatever brands, Microsoft, and you could talk about the difference between brands and how certain brands are so much more recognized and why they're recognized, right? Then you could talk about the experience that you've had with branding with your own business. You could talk about branding for somebody that you worked with in the past. You could talk about branding with regards to specific color schemes. There's just so much content. And I'm giving you guys these examples, being really specific so that you can start triggering ideas about your own business on what kind of content would be valuable. Because by the way, this kind of content, just because it's on YouTube, doesn't mean that you then can share it on your Facebook page. You can share the YouTube video on your Facebook group. You can share the YouTube video on Facebook groups, the other groups. You can share the YouTube video on LinkedIn. I've had so many people email me, reach out to me, comment on my LinkedIn posts on when I share my videos. Because again, it's more interactive. People feel like they're getting to know me rather than just seeing it written, which is great sometimes, but sometimes people want to see a human being. We're humans, right? So we like to see somebody live. It's quite natural. Again, so don't worry too much about the content. Just get started. You know, do short ones in the beginning. Do 3-minute videos and just put yourself out there. In the beginning, I'd always recommend giving your name, telling people who you are, what it is that you do, and who you work with. Why? Because the more people get it in their head that that's what you do, then anytime they think, oh my God, I need that thing, who will they go to? They'll go to you. They'll go to you because they keep hearing, oh, hi, you know, I'm a personal, like if I was a personal trainer, hi, I'm Kate, I'm a personal trainer. I specifically work with these kinds of people who are struggling with this, and this is what I help them do. Well, guess what? When I'm struggling with my weight and I've had my baby and I want to lose weight, who am I gonna go to? I'm gonna go to Kate because I've been hearing like a trigger every single time. That's what Kate does, right? And when other people in other Facebook groups or other people in LinkedIn or other people in your network ask people, oh, like, do you know someone who does this? Boom, guess whose name's gonna come up? Kate's name. So it can be so useful to make sure that you bring up your name, who you are, what you do, and who you work with, and what the benefit of working with you is really good as well. Then you can talk about your content. You can, if you want, you can do the bullet points, you know, you can summarize it. You can do a call to action at the end, because sometimes it's really good for people to know, okay, cool. Like yesterday, I talked to you guys about the live training, and I wanted everyone to set up a live training or a live webinar a couple of weeks from now. And I've had a couple people message me saying, hey, I've booked my first webinar. That's awesome, right? So that's a call to action. It's really getting people to the point whereby they feel like they should go take action on that workout, on that diet, on that business thing, whatever it might be, right? Okay, cool. Okay, so you've got your name, you've got what it is that you do, who you work with, what you're about. You talk about your content with bullet points if you want, summarizing it at the end with a call to action. And at the end, it's great to make sure that you're bringing people back again to either your Facebook group or your email list, or even if you've got like a meetup group, it could be a meetup group, right? Because I sometimes work with people who are offline. So with regards to your how to do that, super simple. Just tell people, hey, if you have any questions about this, or if you want help on how to implement this, the best way to reach me is on my Facebook group. This is the name of the Facebook group. Or you could say like, look, like I've got an awesome opt-in that I know you'll absolutely adore. It's on how to do this and this, and it'll get you this and this. You know, to access that, check out my website on oliviacharlet.com. What I mean by it's so simple. You don't have to worry too much about how to do it, but that again will grow your email list. That will grow your Facebook group, right? So you want to make sure that those two things are always growing so that you can build up your audience and make sure that you're potentially creating clients. Cool. Okay, cool. So with regards to the videos, it's great to create YouTube videos, but then it's about sharing them. And it's great to create Periscopes, but then it's about sharing them. So sharing it on your Facebook group, sharing it on other Facebook groups. I get it. I know it's scary to show up and be visible, and especially on Periscope. I know it's, you know, you can get really goofy and fun and just very casual, and then it's like, oh, I'm scared to put that on a Facebook group. I'm not going to be professional enough. I'm not going to be credible enough. Guess what? If you are being 100% yourself on Periscope and you're being 100% yourself on videos, you want to be sharing that, because that's going to be filtering out the people that you want to work with, and the people you don't want to work with who don't like you, okay? Great, well, guess what? You don't want to be working with people who don't like you. Why would you want to work with somebody who doesn't like you for who you are? Why? Like that feels awful. Work with people who are absolutely adore you, admire you, love your work, think that what you do is freaking incredible. And then that feels so much better. So I'd recommend sharing all of the videos, like do it on Twitter, You could share parts of the videos on Instagram. You could share videos on LinkedIn. You could share your videos on Facebook, on different groups, right? You could share your videos. There's just so many places whereby you can, Google Plus is also where you could share your videos, right? You could also share your videos via email. When you're emailing your email list, you could share a video that way, right? One of my clients, instead of sharing emails with written words, she always just shares a video. And I think that's a really cool way to differentiate herself. And it also is, she doesn't really enjoy writing, so she just makes a lot of videos. Hey, that's just as good. Like, who cares what way you do it in? Just do it in a way that feels amazing for you. And when you, again, I really, really stress this, is like, go all out. Be yourself. Play big. This is not a time to hold back. This is not a friggin' time to hold back. This is a time to put yourself out there, to get yourself known so that people start recognizing your name, start understanding who you are, and keep hearing, oh, the Facebook group, the email list, so they'll start joining that, right? It's really, really that simple in that sense. Okay, cool. Awesome, awesome. Great, so that's with regards to Periscope and with regards to YouTube. Again, I would recommend that if you're launching a program, if you're launching a challenge, if you're launching some form of course, it's a great way to set up Periscopes or YouTube videos about that so that people can understand what your mission is, get to know you better, and you can promote your challenge on there directly, or your offer or your program, right? That's a really great place to do it as well. Cool. In terms of, people are, I'm sure, going to think about, well, what about creating my first paying clients, right? I get that. And that's where a lot of the offers are going to come in. So tomorrow, what we're going to be talking about is the opt-in emails. So, we've been growing this email list through the opt-in. So opt-in email lists and really offering your services. So that's going to be really exciting because I'm going to talk about how you can genuinely serve people, give massive, massive value, but then connect it with an offer so that you're not just giving value and being fantastic and serving and giving, but you're also making sure to talk about your awesome service, right? Because let's be honest, the people who are incredible out there, they have no issue talking about their program. No problem. I mean, every seven-figure business owner I talk to and interview and speak to has no issue whatsoever talking about how freaking amazing their next launch is, or their next program, or their next one-to-one thing. And I get it that maybe you're not there yet because you're not feeling as experienced, or maybe you don't feel like, yeah, Olivia, but I don't have the track record, right? And one of my clients said that to me this morning. I don't have the track record of like all of these results, so I feel a little bit scared to really show up, and I feel like a bit of a fraud, and I feel like I'm not credible yet. And I get that. I do genuinely understand that. But it's about just being authentic, being real with people, and giving the value that you have at this moment, and still shifting up. Playing out that mentality of like, well, when you do have that track record, how would you be showing up? How would your energy be? How would your shoulders be? How would you be alive? How would you be on a call? How would you be when you make a video or when you come on Periscope? Would you be like scared? Or would you be like, I'm really confident. I've got this track record. I feel really good. This is the value I want to talk about today. You would just talk about what it is that you do know. I'm not talking about you talking about something that's out of your expertise. I'm just saying, talk about what it is that you feel comfortable in, that you feel confident in, even if it's something this small, right? And then as it goes, you'll grow that. But even right now, I'm sure there's tons you can talk about based off of what you know from your past. Look at what you've worked in, right? What you've done in your past. Write a list. Talk about all the amazing things that you've already accomplished up until today, even before your business, or even when you did free work or free calls or free training for people, okay? And if you haven't been asking for testimonials or for feedback or for free, or giving people free coaching calls and free training, I would recommend doing that, because the sooner you get on the calls with people, the sooner you do free work, the sooner you can get some great testimonials, you can build up your confidence, you can build up your experience. And I know that a lot of people offer free scholarships, free trainings, free things, just because they want to build up their confidence. And those people very often become paying clients when you do a great job. So it's kind of a win-win either way when you first start out. Cool. All right, I could go on this forever. Do we have any questions about any of what we spoke about today with regards to Periscope or with regards to YouTube? Any questions whatsoever, right? Of course, there's so much more to it, and there's so much more that I could talk about, but I also know that I know that the time I'm always like talking, I have so much to say about these things. We would be here all night. But this is what I'll say: Periscope, YouTube, blast it. Whether it's that, or it's Blab, or it's Facebook Live video, whatever it is, or Snapchat, it's about blasting it and really playing full out, just putting yourself out there and being consistent, right? If you're on Periscope, do it 3 times a week, or do it 4 times a week, or just be consistent. It's not about the number of times, but it is about showing up consistently. It's the same thing with your YouTube videos, right? If you commit to doing 1 YouTube video every single week. Yes, sometimes you're like, oh, I don't have time, I don't feel like it, whatever. But that's the difference between people who are really turning pro and people who are still kind of seeing it as a hobby. People who turn pro, they don't think about, oh, I don't really feel like it. They get themselves in a state whereby they feel energized, they feel inspired, they feel motivated, they watch a motivational video, they read the right book, they hire the right coach, so that they're in the state of mind that they can create the content, 3 times, 5 times a week, regardless of what that is, whatever platform it is. But it is about consistency, right? Because guess what? If you do 2 YouTube videos a week, for example, you can then share those videos on Facebook, on your group, on LinkedIn, on your email list. It allows you to create content and give people value. The more value you give, the more people will be like, she's really cool and she gives great content. I'd love to get to know her better. I'd love to work with her. I'd love to know more. And that's when you start getting the emails, the messages. But that's really whether you turn pro, when you're really showing up weekly, daily, depending on what platform you're on, and you're being consistent. And that's the biggest thing I see when I first start working with people, is like the drop of consistency, whereby it's very sporadic, or they do it for a couple of weeks and then they don't do anything for 2 weeks, and then they do it for another 5 weeks and then they don't do anything for a week. It's the consistency is important, because people need to feel like you are giving them value, because otherwise why would they want to work with you, right? It's really simple. They need to feel like there's value, which can be very easily done, by the way. It's not as if it's like a huge challenge, but it's more about showing up consistently and giving people that value. Okay, cool. So there doesn't seem like there's any questions with regards to this. If there are, just pop them in there. What I will say is tomorrow we're going to be talking about opt-in, email list, and how you can book potential clients, book sales calls, book potential prospect calls through your email, and building relationships through that. And the last thing will be how to really book more sales calls, how to book calls, whether it's free calls or sales calls or potential calls with prospects. So that gets really exciting, but I wanted to give you guys the content in terms of visibility in the first 2 days, because otherwise you're going to feel as if, well, how do I get to that point when I haven't given any value to people, right? What I will say is, for one person who's been here live for all of the trainings, you are going to, very excitingly, get my online course for free. My online course literally walks you through how to unleash your power, how to get crystal clear on what your value is, what your benefits are, what it is that people would love from you. It's also about getting crystal clear on who your ideal clients are. Not like vaguely, actually knowing, this is my person, this is the avatar of the person, this is the person that I would love to work with. So getting crystal clear on that. Then it's about knowing exactly what action steps to take to be getting visible online. Because right now, if you're not showing up online, you're probably invisible. Totally cool. I was like that too, and maybe you're not, maybe you're about midway through, but you really want to be moving to getting visible, building engagement online. And the online course literally goes through step by step by step on exactly how you can do that, what you can do, how to implement the steps that we're going through this week. The next part is on literally building relationships, how you can build relationships with prospects so that they can then become clients. And the last part is how to book sales calls. So usually my clients book about 3 to 5 sales calls a week, and they therefore speak to their potential clients every week, which is a really great way, one, to build experience, to get clear on who your ideal clients are, but also to book paying clients and actually start making money in your business, right? So that's what my online course does. It's both broken into workbooks and videos. The videos are very much focused on what mindset you need to have, what you need to set up with regards to really the systems that you need to have in your head, how to reprogram the way that you think, the way that you feel about your business, about your self-belief, about your self-worth, about creating massive results, about really making this business successful. So there's also the mindset pieces that are in there. So the course is worth over $300. And one of the people who are going to be here every single day on the live training is going to get it for free. So I'm just going to pick it out of the hat from the people who've been there every single day on the live trainings. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Final giveaway for one of you guys who's watching this either live or on the replay. I want to, because I know there are a lot of people who said, no, I'm going to be here for the replay. So if you're watching this replay, that's absolutely fine as well. It'll be first come, first serve, but I want to offer a 30-minute deep dive coaching session like I did yesterday because I'm going to Bali on Saturday. I'm going to be gone for the whole week next week. And I thought, what better way to really delve into, I get it. I've been there. I remember feeling the way that you're feeling, stuck, frustrated, not creating as many results as you'd want to, not feeling like people really see you as the expert, not feeling like you're actually booking sales calls regularly every week, not feeling like money's really coming into the bank. I get that. I've just been through every piece of that running my business, running 2 businesses. And so I know where you're at, and I'd love to delve deeper into your business, into what's going on, what your vision is, what's holding you back, what your blocks are, all of your limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck or keeping you small or not allowing you to really show up at the highest version of yourself, and any strategy or actions that you need to take in your business in the next couple of weeks to really make March your absolute best month so far. Awesome. So that's what I want to do. So it'll be a first come, first serve. Just email me. You can just reply to my challenge email with regards to wanting this 30-minute deep dive coaching call. It'll be over Skype. It'll be 30 minutes. It'll be full on, and it'll be me coaching my butt off. I have to say that coaching is my zone of genius. So if that's something that you haven't done yet with me, I'd highly, highly recommend it because my clients get massive results. One of my clients got $6,000 in her first month of business. One of my other clients got 7 long-term patients from her own acupuncturist clinic after only working with me for a month and a half. One of my other clients got her 2 first paying clients within a month of working with me. One of my other clients got her first paying client within a month of launching her website and a month of working with me. I work quickly. That was only 2 coaching sessions, by the way. I work quickly, I get results fast. That's just what I do. You can speak to the people who've worked with me. You can check out my testimonials on my Facebook business page, on my website, on oliviacharlet.com. I would love to set up that call with you if that would be valuable for you. Awesome, guys. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. I will absolutely email you and let you know when the training is so you can catch it live, so you can win that online course. If you have any extra questions, especially if you're watching this on replay, feel free to reach out to me on my Facebook group, Dare to Dream with Olivia Charlet, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your sort of burning questions on there. Awesome. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.